We all know that plant is a living being. Here you have a seed. When the seed is sown in ground, we have two things. Imagine if this is a seed and the top part and the bottom part. The top part is called as the shoot. Shoot will always go towards the sunlight, and the root, the bottom part, it will always go down towards the earth to take nutrition and water. So how does the plant survive? Now, like in humans or in animals, we have blood, but in plants they don't have blood. But still, how the water is been transported from the tip of the root, from the stem to the leaf, and how it evaporates. So these are the things that we are going to study in detail in these upcoming classes, and very important examination questions will be asked on the topics of your xylem and phloem, and then other important tissues of these plants. So now here on the leaf there is a diagram here which talks about different layers of this leaf, and here on this leaf you have a complex tissue that is called as xylem and phloem. Now look at this xylem and phloem, how it is arranged in this plant leaf, how it is arranged here in a bilateral way. When it comes to stem, in stem you can see how the vascular bundles are here, and the xylem and phloem, how they have been arranged here in a beautiful manner. Now next, if you see the same xylem and phloem in the roots, it has been arranged in this way. Okay, it has been arranged in this way. So this is what is plant all about. Now let us try to understand everything in detail. Just now we have seen, for example, if I insert a seed inside a ground, there will be a shoot and there will be a root. Now, whenever the plant is growing, there are some important tissues which are going to help the plant to grow. So now there are different kind of tissues that we are going to see in the next slide. This picture is going to explain you once again how does the vascular bundles and the xylem and phloem are arranged in leaf, stem and root. So here you can see on this side, on the leaf, you can see how the xylem and phloem is arranged one above the other. In stem, here you have it is arranged in a proper circular way for the transport of food and water. For the transport of food and water, this xylem and phloem is arranged in a circular way. Next you have roots. In roots you have something here, that is xylem and phloem is situated or in circular way here inside this root, that you can see it in your slide. And this is an important section of a stem, just a cross section of a stem, and this is a detailed image. Here you can see trichome, then you have mucilaginous canal, then you have epidermis. Epidermis is nothing but the outermost layer. Then you have hypodermis, which you can see hypodermis is the second layer, but here we have shown with the green color thing here. Next you have cortex, then you have cortex, slowly it increases. Then you have endodermis. Okay, then you have endodermis here. Look at the cell, how it is in hexagonal shapes. Then you have pericycle. Okay, pericycle, it looks like this. Then you have phloem, very important. Then you have cambium. So these are all the parts of the stem. Then you have metaxylem, then protoxylem, then you have medullary ray, then you have medullary ray here, and xylem. Okay, and xylem, look at this xylem, how it is situated. And then you have vascular abundance, and then you have pith. So this is how the plant stem it looks like when you do a cross section. The difference between the animal cell and the plant cell, see how it looks. Now when you take about animal tissue, for example, you have heart, then you have lungs, then you have stomach. Okay, so many types of organs are there. In every organ there are different kind of cells situated. That is what is animal cell or animal tissue is all about. When it comes to plant cell or the plant tissue, the important part here it is xylem, phloem, etc. Okay, so let us try to understand these tissues in detail. You can take down this important chart. These tissues, imagine the flow chart which I am giving here is very useful. This will be a question asked in your examination. Plant tissues are divided into two. One is called as merismatic tissue. One is called as merismatic tissue, and another is called as permanent tissue. Another is called as permanent tissue. Merismatic tissue, here it is divided into two. One is called as apical and another is called as lateral. another is called as lateral. Permanent tissue is further divided into two, that is called as simple and another is complex. Simple and complex. Simple is further divided into three, one is called as parenchyma. Parenchyma. Next you have collenchyma. Next you have collenchyma, and next you have sclerenchyma. Next you have sclerenchyma. This is important. And complex here, it is further divided into xylem and it is divided into phloem. So xylem and phloem, these are the important part. Now let us try to understand this meristematic tissue and that to the apical tissue. What is meristematic tissue? Imagine if this is a plant and here the leaves on top the leaves and the tree is growing. So on the top here this meristematic tissue will be present, which is going to help in the growth of the plant, which is going to help in the growth of the plant. In the same way you have lateral meristematic tissue which is going to have the branches, etc. When it comes to permanent tissues, you have simple tissue, and in simple tissue when I talk about parenchyma, if the parenchyma contains chloroplast, if the parenchyma contains chloroplast, okay, if it contains chloroplast, it is called as chlorenchyma. It is called as chlorenchyma. If this parenchyma contains air sacs inside it, if it contains air sacs inside it, it is called as aerenchyma. It is called as aerenchyma. And these kind of aerenchyma plants will help the plant to float on water. It will help the plant to float on water. And you can just give an example of water hyacinth. There is an example called as water hyacinth. Okay, and this water hyacinth is sometimes referred as Bengal terror. It is also referred as Bengal terror. Now, why this is called as Bengal terror? Because once upon a time, this water hyacinth, it covered the complete water body and it has destroyed the ecosystem. So this is what is all about. But from our exam point of view, the most important is what is called as xylem and phloem. Your examination question will be what will happen if xylem is not functioning properly or if phloem is not functioning properly. Xylem and phloem, these are the two important things that you should keep in mind from our exam point of view. So this is once again the same picture depicting where the xylem and phloem is situated and how exactly it looks like in your stem or in your leaf or in roots, etc. So this is your xylem tabular column, very very important tabular column which may fetch you more marks in your examination. Xylem is made up of dead cells and here phloem is made up of living cells. The cell wall thickness is thick and here it is thin. The cell material, it is here, it is rigid and it is made up of cellulose. Permeability, it is impermeable. Xylem is impermeable but the phloem is permeable. Cytoplasm, none, it has a cytoplasm lining. The most important point in this slide is this point. What happens with xylem? Xylem helps in water and mineral transports. Water and mineral transport. Phloem helps in food transport. Phloem helps in food transport. This was a question asked in your examination. Which of the following will get affected if phloem is not functioning properly? So answer is food. So next you have direct flow, that is upward, up and down, tissues that is made up of fiber, etc. So this is all about your xylem and phloem. Now if I talk about a leaf, imagine if this is a leaf. On this leaf there is a small pores and from these pores the water vapors are coming out, and on that pore, on that place we have a process called as photosynthesis. We have a process called as photosynthesis. So what is that pore called about? It is called as stomata. It is called as stomata. So now here you can see stomata, and here there is a small hole. Here there is a small hole on the top here, and this small hole is called a stoma, and the atmospheric air, it contains CO2. The CO2 is going to go in. During daytime, you have carbon dioxide going inside the plant and oxygen coming out, and during nighttime, the process is opposite. Okay, so that's the reason during nighttime, if you are sleeping under a big tree, you will feel suffocated because the plants are going to emit carbon dioxide. So now let us try to understand what is this stomata all about. In the center of the screen, you can see a detailed image of the stomata being opened. The center part here, which I am coloring with red color, this is the place where we have photosynthesis process taking place. Photosynthesis process taking place. And now this part is open. The stomata which I have encircled is open stomata, and on the right side you can see how the stomata is closed. That means the water vapor is not going to go out. Okay, and this is the leaf on the left hand side, which has been magnified and showed to you in detail. So this picture will help you to clear the doubts about what is meant by stomata and how these things takes place. The white color gap here, this is the place where the sunlight falls and the CO2 get reacts and it converts into oxygen. So this violet color thing is called as guard cell, which is going to help in opening and closing of the stomata. So the this guard cell is the one which will help in the stomata opening and closing. Stomata opening and closing. Whenever it opens, the water vapor goes out, and that is called as transpiration. That is called as transpiration. Now let us try to understand your examination question, how it was asked. Okay, so imagine if this is the root and I am drawing a plant. Okay, suppose if this is a very tall plant. Imagine if this is a very tall plant and here there is a root. So when the sunlight is falling on this leaf, the plant or the tree is able to take the water vapor. It is able to take the water vapor from the ground and it is giving to the all the leaves. How is it possible? So here what happens in stomata. Okay, suppose if I am drawing this stomata here like this. Okay, so stomata here like this. Here what happens in this opening, when the water vapors are going out, when the water vapors are going out, the pressure changes. So due to this pressure difference, due to the pressure difference, the water vapor is going to come on this leaf. Okay, so whatever water is there inside this root, it will go try to come out. So this is what is happening here inside this plant. So now I hope you understood what are the important things to be covered in this plant. Different types of tissues, mainly these tissues, this chart or this flow chart they will ask you in examination. You have to be thorough with your basic flow chart, that is apical meristematic tissue, then what is meant by parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma, etc. And the most important part in this slide will be the difference between xylem and phloem. What happens if xylem is not functioning, or what happens if phloem is not functioning? I hope you understood this topic in detail. Thank you.